Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Lisa Ryan and I'm a local Thermomix consultant in Coffs Harbour. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Mexican stack, which is a great recipe on Cookidoo. You can either make a vegetarian version or you can make a meat version, which I'm using chicken tonight. I'm also doing something a little bit special and using the spinach wraps that I made previously today instead of using bought Lebanese bread. So I know exactly what's going into my food tonight. So let's get started. I'm using my TM6 and we're ready to go now. So I'm just going to press start cooking. And we're just going to preheat the oven to 180 degrees, which I've done already. And I'll just go next. Just says to line a round casserole dish or a pizza tray. I've gone for a cake tray because I find it really easy to get the height that you want and have the stack staying nice and high with that one and not losing its shape. So what I've done is with the wraps that I've made today, I've just trimmed those to fit my cake tray. I'm not throwing out any of the leftovers from my trimmings. They'll all be used to eat with dip, so there's no wastage whatsoever. So I'm just going to go ahead and go next. And now we're going to start the recipe. So we're just going to place the cheese into the mixing bowl. So it's 150 grams of tasty cheese. Just make sure when you are using cheese that you do cut it into small sizes so that they don't get stuck in the blade. So about 3 centimeters is a good amount. So I'm just going to weigh those into the bowl. Okay, so 150. So 2 spring onions. So these are nice fresh ones out of my garden. So I'm just going to pop those straight in and go next. 3 sprigs of flat leaf parsley. So again, these are beautiful fresh herbs out of my garden. So I'm just going to pop those into the bowl as well. And then we're just going to press next. 2 garlic cloves. So I've minced up my own garlic. So I'm going to pop my pre-minced garlic into the Thermomix and go next. And then we're just going to insert the lid and measuring cup. Next. So 10 seconds on speed 5. Okay, and next. So we're just going to transfer those to a bowl and set those aside. And that'll be used later on in the recipe. And we're just going to set that aside to use later on. So we're just going to go next. Okay, so we can go straight on to the recipe now. There's no need to clean the bowl in between. So we've got 1 brown onion, which goes straight in halves. And red chilli, straight into the bowl. 2 garlic cloves. And we're going to insert the measuring cup and go ahead with it again with that. Okay, so turning around to speed 7 this time. And all done, so just hitting next. And we're just going to scrape the sides down. I love how easy it is to cut onion in the Thermomix. It's one of the greatest things about it. So quick and easy, no crying. And next. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. And speed 1 this time. So that's just going to cook for 3 minutes on that one. As you can see here, I've already portioned out all of my ingredients. You don't have to do that to waste all of these bowls that I've got here. I've purely done it so that we don't have to spend as much time weighing in and preparing the items. I'm doing it as quickly as I can to show you today. So you can just do this as you go and you can weigh as you go. So this is a great recipe which you could put chicken or mince of any type in there as well, or you can just leave it to the kidney beans, or if you don't like kidney beans you could actually remove those and just add extra vegetables in. It's a really versatile recipe and it's really popular amongst the Thermomix community. One of the most popular recipes on Cookidoo, I would say. Okay, so now that the onion has fried off there, we're just going to add red capsicum in, which I've just cut into pieces. And then we're going to add our zucchini in next. And then we're going to use our 100 grams of corn. which I'm just going to weigh in. So I've just chosen to use defrosted corn today out of the frozen section in the supermarket. You can use fresh corn cobs if you've got those in season, they're reasonably priced. Okay, so we're just going to pop the lid on and go next. And round to speed 7 for this one. Okay, so that's our mix in there, which is looking great. You can hide lots of veggies in this one, so the kids will never know. Okay, so it's asking to add 400 grams of canned kidney beans. We're actually not going to add the kidney beans today. We're going to use chicken instead. So I'm just going to put my chicken in there, which I've done 400 grams, so the same amount as what you would with the kidney beans. We're going to do 70 grams of tomato paste. And then we're going to do 400 grams of tomatoes. So just canned tomatoes in there. I'm just going to push that chicken down so it's not sitting up too high. Okay, so this is where we go for our spices. So it's 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of coriander, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm not going to put sugar in. I very rarely ever put sugar in my recipes, particularly savoury recipes, as I don't think it needs it. And then the salt and the pepper. So I've pre-weighed all of those just to save time, so I'm going to pop those in now, all of those nice fresh herbs. Okay, so we're just going to cook this now. So that's going to take 15 minutes at 100 degrees, so I'll pop back and show you the end result. The next step is to add our fresh corn kernels in, about 100 grams of those. So again, either using fresh or frozen. And we'll go next, and we'll just pop the lid on. So we're just going to incorporate those for 5 seconds. That's on reverse so that it doesn't chop those corn kernels up. So we've got our beautiful mixture there, which I'm going to take off the cradle now. I'll just pop that aside. Okay, so on the Thermomix screen here, it will just tell us the instructions now to go ahead with placing this in the oven. So it says place a layer of flatbread onto base of prepared dish and spread 2 to 3 tablespoons of the mixture onto the bread, smoothing with a spatula. And then we just keep doing that. So keep going for layers, continue layering the flatbread and corn mixture, finishing with a layer of the corn mixture on the top, and then we'll sprinkle with the cheese mixture. So we're just going to start to assemble our stack now. If you've seen my video from earlier today, I actually made these spinach wraps from scratch. So I mentioned in the video that if you buy the spinach wraps from the supermarket, I think there's a couple of brands on the market. If you have a look closely at the ingredients list, you'll notice that there's 15 ingredients in the wraps that you purchase from the supermarket. Now they're spinach wraps, but they actually contain no spinach. So they contain 0.9% of the whole recipe is spinach and herb flavoring. So that's no real spinach at all. So they also have colorings in them, which are actually yellow and blue colorings, which are terrible for behavioral issues, headaches, migraines, asthma, and preservatives as well. So if you can make your own, they make a huge difference. These have got 5 ingredients in them. I know exactly what's in them. I know that we're putting good food into our bodies, and they're completely pliable. You can use those for salad wraps, for school lunch boxes. You can freeze them. I've cut them down to size so that they will fit in my tin, but there's no wastage. Anything that I've cut off, we'll just be having with dip. So we will still eat those as well. So I'm actually using these instead of pre-purchased Lebanese bread in our stack tonight, because then I know exactly what I'm putting into our bodies. So I'm just going to go ahead now and spread out our mixture. Right to the edges. And then we're going to go ahead and put another piece of our spinach wrap on top there and repeat the process. Oh, this is going to be delicious. The smells that are coming from this mixture already just smell so amazing. And another layer. So we're layering this 8 high. It suggests to have 8 pieces of bread ready to go. So I've got 8 of my freshly made wraps ready to go. And another layer. So I'm really finding that it does help if you have your pre-cut circles for this. Makes it so much easier to fit into the tin. And another one. And we're going to get some nice height in this as well. And just looking at the size of this, it looks like it's going to feed a small army. So definitely plan this when you've got lots of people around for dinner, or when you plan on having leftovers for lunches or dinner for about a week afterwards, because this definitely feeds a crowd. So for anyone out there who's worried that the Thermomix won't actually feed their family, this was one of those dishes that you're not going to have any problem whatsoever feeding people with big appetites. Okay, so I'm right to the top there. So now we're actually going to spread out our cheese mix. So this will melt over the top. So this is your cheese mix that's got the parsley in it. It has your garlic. And it has your spring onion. It doesn't matter how rustic it is because it's going to melt. So I'm just going to put blobs of it on, and that's just going to melt over the top. And then I can smooth it out after it's gone into the oven if need be. I'll just see how it comes out once it gets into the oven and actually melts. Okay, so just going back to our screen again. It just says to bake for 14 to 16 minutes on 180 degrees until the cheese is golden and melted. So we'll pop back and show you the end result.